And for the dance performance, we have Aditi Mataji. Mataji, oh, she's not gone. What is your name, Mataji? Very sorry, but let us please thank Aditi Mataji and everyone involved by loudly chanting 3 times. And lastly, thank you so much, every one of you, for being such a wonderful audience and supporting these children. We hope that we keep bringing these performances to you in the future as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
While the class is on, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopinath Vallabha Girivarat Jaya Gopinath Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopinath Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopinath Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopinath जय गोपी वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय श्री गोपाल श्री गोपाल श्री गोपाल Gopal, Jaya Shri Gopal. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Vishnu Pad, Paramahansa Parvijayacharya, Shrodra Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Vishnu Pad, Paramahansa Parvijayacharya, Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन उत्तरा धाम की जय, मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, कलियुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। All glories to assembled Lord. All glories to assembled Lord. All glories to assembled Lord. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Bhagavan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, Chapter 5th. Vidura talks with Maitreya, text number 5th. Karoti karmani kritavataro Yanya atmatantro bhagavan stradesha Yatha sasarjagra idam niriha Samstapya vrittim jagato vidatte Karoti karmani kritavataro Yanya atmatantro bhagavan stradesha Yatha sasarjagra idam niriha Samstapya vrittim jagato vidatte Karoti karmani kritavataro Yanyatmatantro bhagavan stradesha Yatha sasarjagra idam niriha Samstapya vrittim jagato vidatte
Karoti karmani kritavadhata Atmatantro bhagavan
माता जी word by word meaning. Karoti, does them. Karmani, transcendental activities. Krita, by accepting. Avatara, incarnations. Yani, all those. Atma Tantra, self-independent. Bhagavan, the personality of God. Triadesha, the Lord of the three words. Yatha, as much as. Sasarcha, created. Agre, at first. Idam, this cosmic manifestation. Niriha, although desireless. Samstapya, by establishing. Vrittim, means of livelihood. Jagata, of the universes. Vidate, as he regulates. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O great sage, kindly narrate how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the independent, desireless Lord of the three worlds and a controller of all energies, accepts incarnations and creates the cosmic manifestation with perfectly arranged regulative principles for its maintenance. Purport. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, from whom the three creative incarnations, namely the Purusha avatars, Karana Karanarnavashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu expand. The whole material creation is conducted by the three Purushas in successive stages under the external energy of the Lord. And thus material nature is controlled by him. Thinking material nature to be independent is like seeking milk from the nipple-like bags on the neck of a goat. The Lord is independent and desireless. He does not create the material world for his own satisfaction as we create our household affairs to fulfill our material desires. Actually, the material world is created for the illusory enjoyment of the conditioned souls who have been against the transcendental service of the Lord since time immemorial. But the material universes are full in themselves. There is no scarcity for maintenance in the material world. Because of their poor fund of knowledge, the materialists are disturbed when there is an apparent increase of population on the earth. Whenever there is a living being on the earth, however, his subsistence is immediately arranged by the Lord. The other species of living entities who far outnumber human society are never disturbed for maintenance. They are never seen dying of starvation. It is only human society that is disturbed about the food situation, and to cover up the real fact of administrative mismanagement, take shelter in the plea that the population is excessively increasing. If there is any scarcity in the world, it is a scarcity of God consciousness. Otherwise, by the grace of the Lord, there is no scarcity of anything. Om Jnanatimrandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyatheshatharini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Kauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome everyone for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. If somebody wants to move this side, maybe there is a lot of space. Otherwise, if they can make some arrangement by which people can come and sit later. So, in this verse, Vidur, who has been traveling to many holy places. It's okay. Has been traveling to many holy places with a quest of trying to understand the higher truths of life. He's meeting various sages at various holy places, and he's making relevant inquiries. And as we know that Vidura, who was younger brother of Dhritarashtra, his minister, younger brother, he was in a royal palace and he was giving a lot of advice to Dhritarashtra. Whenever Dhritarashtra was in difficulty trying to understand the various complicated diplomatic, political situations in the kingdom, Vidura was always next to him, giving very straightforward and honest advices. And before the war of Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra had asked Vidura to come and give advice because he was quite uncertain about the future of Hastinapur, who would become the ruler. And he was not able to sleep. He was sleepless. So much anxiety he was going through. And in the middle of the night, he calls for Vidura. Sound is some issue with the sound manager. He has to do something I can't do. So somebody can manage the sound properly. Is everyone able to hear at the back? Am I audible at the back? Yes? Okay. No audibility there. Matish is not able to hear. But fan? Oh. Low. Sound is low. Somebody should increase somewhere, somebody should decrease. I don't know what is going on. How to handle the sound. Please manage that. Or my sound is low or something, I don't know. Whether I should speak loudly, right? Better. So, Dhritarashtra was not able to sleep. It was such a great anxiety for him. And in the middle of the night, he calls Vidura. And And nobody wants to be invited in the middle of the night, right? Any minister or secretary, any friend, we don't want to get disturbed. We want to take a rest, right? That's our time. But Vidura was so alert in his duties. Even in the middle of the night, he goes and meets Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra, he inquires, he asks about the cause of his sleeplessness. And that section of Mahabharata is called as Prajagara Parva. Means he was not able to sleep. And what happened during that time? What was the advice given by Vidura? So there are 8 chapters. Vidura Niti, it is very famous. And it is also explained that in Mahabharata there are 3 discussions which are very, very important. One is Vidura Niti, discussion between Dhritarashtra and Vidura. Second is Bhagavad Gita, discussion between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. And the departing message of Bhishma Dev to Yudhishthira and Pandavas on the topic of dharma. So these 3 discussions are quite important. And Vidura, he tries his best to explain to Dhritarashtra the path of virtue, how he should be virtuous. He should not usurp the property of Pandavas. He should return the kingdom. And he should abandon his own son, Duryodhana. The Vidura was very clear in his thinking. Although he was living in the palace, Dhritarashtra was maintaining, he was not giving any biased advice. He was very clear what is right, what is wrong. And he was following that. Dhritarashtra, he could not take this advice. Because he was attached. He was attached to his own son. And he wanted the kingdom. It's not a... So it was not easy to give up the kingdom because he was so much attached. And he was the elder brother. Pandu could not. Pandu passed away earlier. And Dhritarashtra and Pandavas were very young that time. And he had accepted the kingdom. He had become the king. And during that time he became attached to the kingdom. And he knew that it is not right in his heart, in his deep heart. He knew that it is not the proper way. But still, who can give up? It was such a big deal. Because it was not a small kingdom. It was the kingdom of the entire earth. Mahabharata, Greater India, not like today's small tract of land. But it was the entire world he was going to rule. And he was quite capable. He could do such administration, he could keep all the people satisfied. Only defect was he was not having physical eyes. Biologically he was blind. That was the only defect he had. And he did not consider that as a disqualification for ruling the world, ruling the kingdom. But in one sense, it was a disqualification according to certain religious codes. The king has to be a perfect person. But he was in the denial stage. He wanted the kingdom. And he knew that he was not going to get. So if I don't get, at least my children should get. And the eldest was Duryodhana. He should be the next king. Nepotism was going on since then. Right. So he was quite obsessed with the power. And Duryodhana and party, they were trying to kill Pandavas in so many ways since they were young children. Bhima was poisoned by feeding the cake. Cake, right? Nobody can resist. Somebody says that there is a cake distribution. All the cakes disappear. I mean, all the cakes in the form of backache, neck ache, stomach ache, they all disappear when there is a cake distribution, right? So, Duryodhana, he fed a poisonous cake to Bhima and pushed them in the water. But somehow the Bhima, he survived and again came back. They tried to burn Pandavas alive in the house of Lad. Gambling match, they tried to usurp the entire kingdom. They put them in exile for 12 years and 1 year incognito. So many atrocities they were trying to perform. And now the battle was inevitable. Even Lord Krishna, he tried to pacify Kauravas and Pandavas. He became Shanti Dut, the messenger of peace. But even he was insulted. And Vidura was also trying to stop this war. And he was giving advice. Vidurniti, if you study this 8 chapters, it's quite interesting that how Vidura was trying to advise Dhritarashtra. He was giving so many moral instructions, so many examples, stories to change the heart of Dhritarashtra. So that he understands that if he has to be a proper king, then he has to be equal to everyone. He cannot be a biased person. He cannot do a partiality. Samam sarvabhuteshu. A person who is in the leadership position, he takes the responsibility of the people. He has to be equal. He cannot create divisions and then rule. That is very different type of leadership, divide and rule. Let people fight, but I will rule some over them. That's not the proper way of leadership. The proper leader has to be equal. He should raise the people on the path of Krishna consciousness. Make them understand that ultimately I am not the real king or not the real leader. Supreme Lord is the real proprietor of everything. And I am just his representative. That is the real leadership. Therefore, in the earlier ages, the king was called as Naradev. Means that he is a representative of the gods, demigods. On their behalf he is ruling. And he has to be a perfectly Krishna conscious person. Then only he can rule the kingdom. He has to perform the sacrifices. He has to please the demigods. And then all the necessities of the life will be provided by the demigods. So that was the consciousness. The consciousness of the leader has a greater impact on his followers. Therefore, Vidura, he knew that Dhritarashtra is not properly conscious. He is not Krishna conscious. He is on the bodily consciousness of life. He is thinking in terms of his own welfare and the welfare of his own people. Therefore, the first inquiry in Bhagavad Gita begins with Dhritarashtra Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsava mamakaha pandavascha kima kurvata sanjaya. So this is the beginning. That how Bhagavad Gita begins. It's quite interesting that how Vyasadeva, who is the father of Dhritarashtra, he is beginning Bhagavad Gita with this verse. He knows that my son, Dhritarashtra, he is blind. Not only physically blind, but he is spiritually also blind. Because he is not able to see in the spiritual platform also. And it is a kind of sarcastic way Bhagavad Gita has started. That just see, he has heard Vidurniti. He heard the message of Lord Krishna. But still, he is curious about who will be the ruler. Isn't? After hearing so much philosophy, dharma is going to be wherever there is dharma, that side is going to be victorious. It was very clear from the very beginning. But still, hope against hope. Dhritarashtra was thinking that probably something may happen. Because it's Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, and they may change the mind. They means they, Pandavas. Right? Mamaka is mine. My children should become the king. And they may change, they may renounce, they may go to the forest happily and live peacefully without any dissension. And I will become the king. He was still dreaming after hearing so much. After so many odd against him, still he was hoping that he would be the king. So, Vyasadeva, he starts with this verse. And that shows that how Dhritarashtra was blind. He was not ready to accept. He was in the bodily conception of life. And Vidura, he tried his best. And after that also, when Vidura was called by Dhritarashtra and he was trying to get advice, that time Duryodhana becomes angry. And he insults Vidura. Prabhupada Dev, Prabhupada Dev, Prabhu ki jai. We welcome you. Prabhupada Dev, Prabhu is from Guyana, right? So please welcome everyone, him by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So, Vidura was insulted. And he was asked to leave at the spur of the moment. He has to leave immediately without taking anything with him. Right? It's quite embarrassing. And first to thrown out of the kingdom and without planning, without making any adjustments, distributing property, nothing. Just get out. Was thrown out. Now, it's quite interesting. He was trying to give good advice, which was for their good, which they could have taken positively, and they would also live very happily. But what happened? Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, they lost a best person, the best person who was with them, who was trying to give good advice. And when they lost Vidura, it was the beginning of their defeat. And Dhritarashtra was alone, without any good advice, somebody giving good advice, always surrounded by all the different types of vicious people, conspiring and trying to plot against Pandavas. Now Vidura, he leaves. He understands that this is the energy of the Lord. Ultimately, nothing happens without the sanction of the Lord. And I have been thrown out, it's okay, I will take it positively. And he goes out thinking that it's a divine energy of the Lord, which is now acting. And under that energy, Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, they are not able to see clearly what is correct, what is right, what is wrong. They are not able to discriminate properly, take proper decisions. And he thinks that this is the perfect will of the Lord, that now I am out, that I don't have to be part of that war where there could be bloodshed, there will be fights, there will be killing. I don't have to hear all that news. And he goes out. He takes that as an opportunity to go more deeper in his consciousness. He was already very elevated soul. He is none other than Yamaraj. Yamaraj is one of the 12 Mahajanas, right? So he had come for a specific purpose. There was some kind of curse on him. But still, in his original form, he was a pure soul. Externally, he may be son of Shudrani, he was the minister, younger brother. But in his spiritual consciousness, he was very, very pure. And he was trying to give a moral advice which was necessary at that time. And he understood that there is still something lacking in me. That still something in me that I could not change the heart of Dhritarashtra. He didn't blame Dhritarashtra. He didn't blame Duryodhana. In that kingdom, he was trying to bring some sanity before bringing them on the higher level of sanctity. He was trying to bring some sanity. Because they were not ready to become God conscious, Krishna conscious immediately. So some sanity is required before sanctity comes. So he was trying at that level, giving moral advice and trying to be good, how the kingdom should be ruled, what is the ethical way of doing things. But it didn't work. So I understood that now there is still something lacking in me, that I lack something, that I am not yet pure to change the heart of him. So let me become purified. Let me try to go more deeper in my own consciousness to help the world. The great souls, they want to change the world not by changing the world, but by changing themselves. Because when you change yourself internally, when you go more deeper and try to elevate your consciousness, you are actually trying to change the society. Because we are all individually part of the society. When we change ourselves in a positive way, we are actually changing the society. Charity begins at home. So therefore, Krishna consciousness, or taking the path of spirituality, Krishna consciousness, is not running away from society. In fact, the more one becomes Krishna conscious, one is contributing to the society. Because he will or she will live in a perfect Krishna conscious way. And that is the greatest contribution to the society. Those who live in that consciousness, they are the real welfare workers. And therefore all the instructions of Vedas, Scriptures, Upanishads, Puranas, is to change ourselves. Changing the self, trying to understand ourselves. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada also, here in this part, but it is very interesting that how Srila Prabhupada is trying to connect with the modern society, that how the scarcity, sometimes there is a kind of big hue and cry about the scarcity of food or overpopulation. Srila Prabhupada is trying to tell here that if God has created this world, God has created us, then it is His duty to supply. And He will supply food to each and every person, each and every living entity. Every person, every living entity will get sufficient food. Therefore, it is explained that there is enough in this world for everyone's need, but not for one's greed. That is the problem. If one takes what is necessary, there is sufficient. Srila Prabhupada also in Ishopanishad, he explains, he has given this book Ishopanishad, and he explains the principle of living in harmony with God. If individuals, they live in harmony with God, then there will be perfect harmony in the society. And what are these basic fundamental principles? Ishavasya vidam sarvam. First, to recognize that everything belongs to God. Although something may be given to us, we should know that ultimately it belongs to God. It is given to us for some time. We are trustees. We are not the real owners. For some time it has been given. And what one should do? Ishavasya sarvam tena tyaktena bhunjita. Whatever is necessary, whatever is required, one should take. Ma gridha kasya siddhana. And one should keep aside which is not his own quota, which is not required. One should not take more than necessary. So this is a very simple principle. Very, very fundamental principle. And if it is followed properly, then there will be proper distribution of food, or all the resources of this material nature will be properly distributed to everyone. But if it is not followed, then what happens? If somebody starts taking more than necessary, then automatically imbalance is created, right? Imbalance is created, and the person who needs, he doesn't get. So therefore it is observed that there is sufficient in this material. But what has happened in today's time? The needs of individuals have increased, which are artificial, which mind just creates that I need more. But actually we don't need too much. We can be satisfied with whatever has been provided to us. How much one can eat? Rich person, or who are even very strong, healthy person, how much one can eat? So that is what is necessary to understand. There are various kinds of observations, and somebody has made some observation that the population in today's time, if we consider the population, it is something like 8.2 billion people on the planet. And earlier, maybe 3-4 centuries before, there were not even 1 billion people, right? But within last 3-4 centuries, some other tremendous increase in the population, and there is a kind of big anxiety, global anxiety, that how people can be maintained. But here Srila Prabhupada is very confident that if people follow the principles, basic principles of God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all the necessities will be, basic necessities will be taken care. And somebody made observation that if Indians, now there is so much consumerism going on. If Indians start consuming like Americans, then all the resources of the planet will be insufficient. Total chaos, right? So we are consuming so much, use and throw kind of culture is growing. Just use little bit and throw it. So that has to be checked. That this is why I'm throwing unnecessarily, why I'm wasting God's property. If we can take some steps in our own lives, small steps, we can still make a difference. We can decide that I will not waste food. Is it difficult? Can we take that kind of decision in our life? Right? That from today onwards, I will take whatever is necessary before putting on my plate, and I will take it, consume it thoroughly. I will not take more than necessary. If I need, I can take more. But in the first helping, first serving, I will take whatever is just necessary. If you make that kind of resolution, we'll see we will make a lot of difference. We can take another kind of resolution or decision. If we see water getting wasted, tap is running, somebody has left the tap open, may not be your tap, but some public tap or temple tap or something. If you see the tap is running, just go and close it. Don't think that what others will say. Do not worry about that. You are contributing to yourself and to the society. If we can take these two basic steps in our life, we can make tremendous difference. Srila Prabhupada also at, I think, Mayapur or someplace, he was walking in the fields and he saw one tap was running. It was trickling, like one drop was falling after a few minutes or something. And he told his disciples that, do you see? So they thought that there is something esoteric in this, and they thought that there is some pastimes happening in this holy land of Mayapur, and we can't see Prabhupada is seeing. But then Prabhupada pointed out that just look at this tap. This tap is running. This water is getting wasted. So Prabhupada was so conscious about water. Because there is Krishna in the water. Rasoham Sukhaunteya. I am the taste of water. If you can see Krishna in water, then we will be able to see Krishna in his deity form. That is the beginning. First we have to see Krishna everywhere. Then we will be able to see Krishna perfectly in his deity form. It is not that we see Krishna only in his deity form and then we are totally oblivious to everything happening around. So therefore, becoming Krishna conscious is not difficult. It's very easy. If you are a little bit Krishna conscious, you can see Krishna everywhere. So Vidura, he understood that there is something deep, that which I could not change the heart of Dhritarashtra. And he decided to move out. And he went on pilgrimage. Because he understood that still there may be some higher knowledge. It is not that I have perfected my life. There are still certain higher enlightened beings on this planet. And they are somewhere, I need to search out them and take guidance from them, trying to understand them. So therefore, he is searching out. He is going out to meet, making relevant inquiries. And 2 verses before, very wonderful verse he spoke. Janasya Krishnat Vimukasya Daiva Adharmashilasya Sudukhatasya Anugraha Yeya Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janatanasya. It is so wonderful verse. Vidura is telling, he is requesting Maitreya Muni. He is glorifying, indirectly he is glorifying Maitreya Muni, that how Maitreya Muni is such a person who is for the welfare of people. He is wandering about to uplift them, to give them higher knowledge. It is not for their own benefit they are moving around. but for the welfare of the janasya. Who are they? They are vimukasya. They have turned away their face from God, Krishna. And they are searching after the material pleasures. The material pleasures, they are temporary, they are illusory. They can give happiness for some time, but not the ultimate purpose of life can be served. So therefore, what is the process by which they can come to Krishna? They can come to the higher understanding. So in this verse, he is requesting Maitreya Muni to explain, give the higher understanding by which his consciousness can be elevated. And it can be a great service to all people around. So the discussion happened so many years before, which was not kind of recorded by anyone. There was no recording systems that time, or in today's time, Insta things. Instantly it is, reels are created and posted everywhere. But this kind of transcendental discussion was recorded by those who are higher level of consciousness. Those who have elevated their consciousness. They can understand that this discussion is very important and it has to be part of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Vyasadeva has perfectly brought this discussion in Srimad Bhagavatam because it is giving us the higher knowledge. It is helping us to elevate our consciousness. And we can see in this verse also that how Vidura is inquiring about the various incarnations. This is another relevant question or query he has put forward toward Maitreya Muni. And we can see that the query about incarnations of the Supreme Lord is not only here, but since beginning of Bhagavatam. From the very first chapter of Bhagavatam, the sages of Naimisharanya, they are asking questions to Sutta Goswami that what are the Purusha avtaras? What are the Leela avtaras? Why Krishna, he was transferred from Mathura to Vrindavan? What is the ultimate goal of life? What is the essence of all the scriptures? And where the religious principles have taken shelter. So these are the various relevant queries the sages have asked at the very beginning. Even in the second canto, Brahmaji is telling various avtaras to his son and disciple Narada Muni in the 7th chapter. So there is a discussion of avtaras. In the 3rd canto, there is a discussion of avtaras. Even in the 11th canto, Karabhajan Muni and Nemi, there is a discussion. So there is a discussion on avtaras, and Karabhajan Muni explains about a very nice verse which explains that, which is similar to the 3rd verse of this chapter, which explains that Tyakta Sudustucha Surepsita Rajya Lakshmim Dharmishta Arya Vajasa Tadagadharanya Maya Mrugam Daita Epsita Anvadhava Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam. So this verse explains about, our acharyas explain that this verse explains about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It explains about Lord Krishna. It also explains about Lord Ramachandra. We'll see how Karabhajan Muni, in one verse, he has connected 3 incarnations, 3 great incarnations of the Supreme Lord in one verse. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he explains that how this verse is explaining about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, he appeared 500 years before as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And just few days before we celebrated Gaura Purnima, Gauranga Mahaprabhu's appearance. It's a very, very merciful incarnation of the Lord. Very, very merciful. Namo Mahavadane. Krishna Prema Pradayate, because he gives Krishna Prem, which is very difficult, which is very rare, which was not achieved in earlier ages. He gives that very easily. No difficulty at all. So how this verse is applicable? So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in Navadvip, he was, in his childhood pastimes, he was performing his scholastic pastimes as a Sanskrit scholar and defeating all these Sanskrit Pandits. And at that time, Navadvip was very elevated place, high place of learning, high seat of learning. Many people would come to Navadvip to study Sanskrit, to become scholars in Nyaya. And they would become very proud. After getting knowledge, one should become humble. But they would become very proud. See how much I know. And I can defeat you by my knowledge. That was kind of pride they were having. So, which is very dangerous actually. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a Nimaya Pandit, he would defeat them. He would create some argument and ask them to counter-argument. And he would perform his chanting in the house of Shiva's Thakur. Yesterday was Shiva's Pandit's appearance day. So in his house he was performing chanting, dancing, and not everyone was allowed. Only few would be allowed. And especially those who are proud people, they were not allowed. So one such Brahmana was not allowed to come. So he was kept outside door, not allowed, no entry. So this Brahmana became quite angry that how I am not allowed. I am such a important person. Everyone thinks that I am an important person. He thought that I am a scholar, I know so much, and I am qualified, I should be allowed. He is not allowing. So I will curse him. He cursed Nimai Pandit, that he will not get material happiness. So he said, that's very good. Because I have come for that purpose only. My purpose of incarnation is not to enjoy material happiness, but I have come to renounce this everything, this material world, material pleasures. So, Lord Gauranga, he renounced everything at the age of 24. When he was very young, he renounced. Dharmishta Aryavachasa. Aryavachasa means because of the curse of this Brahmana, he renounced. And what he did? Tada agada aranyam. He took sannyas. Aranya is kind of type of name for sannyasis. Aranya, Bharti. So, he took sannyas from Keshav Bharti. And why he took sannyas? Maya Mrugam Daita Ipsita Anvadhava. Maya Mrugam, the living entity, to run after living entities. Living entities are said to be Maya Mrugam. Maya means material pleasures. They're running after that. Maya Mugdha Jeev Nahi Sota Krishna Nyam. Jivera Krupa Kaile Krishna Veda Puran. Vidvyas, he saw that. Please come and sit. Yes. So, Maya Mruga Jeev, the living entity is running after material pleasures and material happiness, searching for material happiness, but it cannot be happy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas to run after such living entities. That please don't run after material happiness. There is happiness, but not material happiness. There is spiritual happiness. Try to understand what is spiritual happiness. Then you will be really happy. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas to give them the higher understanding. Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam. That is a great personality. So that is the first verse. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that how this verse is applicable to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Srila Jiva Goswami explains that how this verse is applicable to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, he also left Mathura from very first day or night when he was born. He was born in the middle of the night in Mathura, in the prison. And he knew that there is Kansa. Krishna had a lot of projects in his hand. Projects of killing demons, his own maternal uncle. He had all those things in his mind, on his agenda. And Vasudeva and Devaki, they knew that there is a fear from Kansa. So they requested Krishna, please do something. So Krishna, he followed that. He left Mathura Sampatti. Mathura was a very opulent city that time. And there would be attacks by Yavanas and looted a lot of things afterwards also. But Mathura was a very opulent city. And Krishna left that. And he went to Vrindavan. Tad agada aranyam. Vrindavan Aranya he went. He went to the forest of Vrindavan. And what he did, he was anvadhava. He was running after cows, his friends. He was running in Vrindavan here and there. And he became Maya Mrugam. What is Maya Mrugam now? Maya here refers to Yoga Maya, Krishna's internal agency. Srimati Radharani. Krishna became the toy or play doll in the hands of Srimati Radharani. Maya Mrugam, Daita Sita Anmudhavat. And because of Srimati Radharani, he could not leave Vrindavan. He was in Vrindavan running here and there. And he gave a lot of pleasure to Vrajavasis. So therefore the Vrindavan pastimes are very sweet. They are very, very high level, elevated pastimes. And Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Krishna is always in Vrindavan. So Srila Jiva Goswami explains that this verse refers to Lord Krishna. And then Srila Sridhar Swami, he explains that how this verse refers to Lord Ramachandra. Within few days there will be Sri Ram Navami. We'll be celebrating, hopefully, if temple is open. Otherwise, khichdi. So, Dharmishta Arya Bachasa, Lord Ram, he followed the instructions of his father. His father, he was bound, duty bound. His wife, Kaikeyi, she asked for 2 boons. When Lord Ram was going to be coronated. Tomorrow is Lord Ram's coronation. And the night before coronation, Kaikeyi, she asked Dasharath, her husband, to give 2 boons. And what were the 2 boons? That first is, my son should become the king. Right? My son, again, the bodily constitution of life. My son is different and his other, Lord Ram, is different. And Ram should he should go to the forest for 14 years. So, Dashrath Maharaj, when he heard, it was a big blow to his heart. He could not take it. He was quite mortified. And he was pleading, Kaikeyi, please give up this kind of request and desire. But she was very adamant. And Lord Ram, when he heard that this is a desire of my father, he immediately left earth. He happily accepted to go to the forest for 14 years. And what happened in the forest? We know that how there were so many demons in the forest. And one demon came in the form of a deer, Maya Mrugam. So Lord ran after Maya Mrugam, that deer, Marich, who took the form of a deer, and Lord Ram ran after him. So, this is how Lord performs his pastimes. And these are the various types of incarnations Lord performs in various ages. He comes in various ages and performs various pastimes, just so that our consciousness can be elevated. When we hear these pastimes, then our consciousness gets purified. These are not ordinary sound vibrations. We must understand, when we hear Krishna Katha, Ram Katha, Gauranga Katha. These are not ordinary sound vibrations. Anybody who hears these kathas with great faith, they will achieve their perfection of life. They will achieve love of God. They will go back home, back to God. And in Kali Yuga, Lord knows that Kali Yuga is a place of urgency. It is urgency. Krishna cannot come every year, right? In fact, people ask that why now so many bad things are happening, why Lord is not appearing, right? So many times we have heard that God should come now and do something, fix everything. But God doesn't come like that. He has come in the form of Harinam, holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. He has come in the form of holy name. Because that is the very easiest way he can appear. Quickly he can appear. You want to appear, you want God to appear, just chant holy name and he will appear. Even hearing Katha, Srimad Bhagavatam, that is also appearance of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is also Grantha Avatar, it is explained. But then you have to hear Katha. But Lord comes immediately and we hear her holy name. And something connected with these verses. That how after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance also, so many apasampradayas they developed. And the real message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was obscured. People did not know what is the real path, what is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Achanta Bhedaved philosophy and how to practice it, pure devotional service. What are the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami? And Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they were trying their best to give the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in this country and all over. And we know that how Srila Prabhupada, he made that prophecy of Lord Chaitanya true. That Prithivite Yachada Nagaradigram Sarvatra Prachara Hoibe Morana. That Lord Gauranga's name will be chanted all over the world, not only in the one part of India, but all over the world. And that prophecy was made possible by Srila Prabhupada. And it's very interesting that how Srila Prabhupada traveled everywhere. Srila Prabhupada also traveled to all over the world. He was from West Bengal, from Kolkata. But he traveled. He came to Mumbai also. Right? And in 1971, I was just trying to check the dates. And 1971, March 25th, just after 2 days. March 25th to April 4th was where Srila Prabhupada came nearby Cross Maidan. Cross Maidan Pandal festival was it happened in 1971, March 25th to April 4th. Srila Prabhupada went to America in 1966. And then he came within few years back to India to give the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Indians. And that time there was a big Hare Krishna festival, right? Srila Prabhupada was there, the big stage, and so many foreigners were dancing white elephants, they were called as. And then we know that what happened during that time. Two great souls, they got inspired through this program. And then these two great souls have contributed so much to Bharatvasis, right? So many Indians, they didn't know about Krishna consciousness. They were thinking that we know everything or we want westernization. They were running after Western things. But these two great souls, they gave them Krishna consciousness. They transformed the lives of so many. So, these great souls, they travel so many places to transform the lives of people. Janasya Krishnat Vimukasya Daiva. So, Srila Prabhupada has created that impact. And he has given these books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And by reading these books, we will come to the ultimate purpose of life. And one will be able to live in perfect harmony with God. There will not be any disharmony. Srila Prabhupada, at I think one time he explained that if people follow the principle of Ekadashi, simple, very simple principle of Ekadashi, on which day we don't consume grains. We follow that principle, then so many grains will be saved. And there will not be any scarcity in the world. So God has provided so much. If we live in the proper consciousness, then it will be benefit for us and it will be benefit for all people around the world. So I would conclude here. Now its time is over. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, Dev, you want to speak something? Yes? Can you give the mic? Want to speak?
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshirunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki jai. Hare Krishna. I'm Prabhupada Devadas from Georgetown, Guyana. Just have the opportunity to come home for a few days. ISKCON Radha Gopinath Mandir is like our second home. Even though they said Vrindavan is our real home, and we are, so to speak, placed in the west, and a little far off in the west, Guyana. Guyana is, of course, part of West Indies. For those of you who follow cricket, you can relate easily where is Guyana. Myself and my Dharmapatni Vishak are here. We cannot but always be grateful to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj and all the devotees here. For the last 23 years, we have been receiving immense inspiration from all of the lectures, or most of the lectures. Back in those days was MP3 and CDs. And these days we take it for granted, well, YouTube and ISKCON Desire Tree. And you may want to think, well, 10,000 miles the opposite side of the world, how do we feel so connected? I think we are not as connected with Mayapur, Vrindavan, or any other ISKCON temple in the world as here in our ISKCON Chowpatty Radha Gopinath Mandir. So one may think, well, what is this connection, or why such connection? And I will say it's the extreme mercy and blessings of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj and the devotee community here that in so many ways, shape and form, that we would have become inspired and again continue to be inspired by your through your causeless mercies and blessings on us. And therefore I take this opportunity to express my immense gratitude to all the devotees and pray that you continue to shower your well-wishing hearts and give us your blessings, so that as we traveled to Vrindavan for the 50th anniversary of Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir, Prabhupada would have inaugurated 50 years ago, and then go back to our place of service. With your blessings, we'll serve for another year, and hopefully we come back again to be recharged and then go back there. And our service there is in all shape and form, management and Harinam and Sankirtan and preaching and cultivating and everything that, every service that is there to be done, we are ready to do. And even while we're here, if there is any service for us, you can always let us know. I am dreaming that one, part of my life I will get an opportunity to serve here for a few months and GV, Govardhan Eco Village. So I do hope that will come true. Let's see how Krishna will arrange that. Because even while we're here, the people are saying you're spending too long, you should go back. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
I'm sure Shri Radha Gopinath will fulfill your desire. Not few months, more months. Yeah. So we'll do kirtan. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.